Hi all, today we will learn the topic from chapter 2 Windows. Let's have a look at today's objective of the session, which are Introduction to Operating System, Functions of Operating System. We are going to learn types of operating system and will understand features of Windows operating system. Introduction to Operating System. Operating system is the first program that is loaded into the memory of the computer. When the computer is turned on, operating system brings life to it. It is also referred to as the system software. The operating system is the most important program of the computer. It runs the computer system. Every computer must have an operating system to work and run other programs. It acts as interface between the user and the hardware. Softwares can be broadly classified into system software and application software. System softwares are which provides basic functions to the computer. For example, Windows 7 is the system software. It is an operating system. Application software is employed by users such as teachers, students, and professionals to accomplish specific tasks. For example, word processor, spreadsheets, Paint is an application software. An operating system acts like a manager. Its job is to make sure that all of the programs on the computer are doing their job. So Linux and Windows are just like different managers. They do the same thing but have different styles of management. The applications are then the workers that the managers are charged with keeping in line. You, the computer user, are then the owner of the company who directs the manager in how to coordinate the workers. Sometimes you need to fire a bad manager if things are not working out. However, some of the workers might not work well with the new manager if you do so. It manages and controls the working of a computer. It checks that all the computer's internal devices such as ROM, RAM, and peripheral devices such as printer and monitor are functioning properly. It loads only after these checks are successful. There are certain examples of the of the operating system, which are Microsoft, Windows, Linux for personal computers, Mac operating system for Apple computers, Unix for mainframe, and Androids for mobile phone. Functions of operating system. Operating systems perform the following tasks: boots the computer, provides a user interface, that is how a user interacts with a computer, recognizes input from the keyboard, sends output to the monitor, keeps tracks of files on the hard disk, control peripheral devices such as hard drives, printers, and scanners. It manages or organizes file storage space, maintains security, ensures that the system resources are utilized by authorized users only. In the next slide, we will see types of operating system user interface. The user interface is a medium through which a user interacts with the computer. There are two types of user interface. Character user interface, the short form is CUI. These are less intuitive, depends on text commands made up of words and symbols which the users has to memorize. The operating system used the command line or character user interface. The user typed the command using a keyboard. There were no images or graphics on the screen and did not support any pointing devices such as mouse. CUI gradually became outdated and was replaced by GUI. The full form is Graphic User Interface. Example of CUI is DOS, Disk Operating System. It is an operating system that runs from a hard disk drive. It refers to a family of disk operating systems, most commonly MS-DOS, Microsoft Disk Operating System. The first disk operating system used in personal computer was PC-DOS, Personal Computer Disk Operating System. It was developed by IBM, by the Microsoft Corporation in August 1981. Let's have a look at GUI, Graphic User Interface. It uses visual components rather than text, provides menu and toolbar that contains commands to perform specific tasks. Example is Windows. Graphic user interface. With a GUI, the user need not type commands on the C prompt or command line. A mouse is used to move the cursor around the screen, and by simply clicking the icon, the user can run an application instead of typing commands in CUI. Microsoft Windows is an example. Windows is the most popular GUI operating system. The first Microsoft operating system was developed in 1980s. Since then, many versions of Windows operating system have been released till date. Let's see the differences between the two interfaces. Let us understand the differences. CUI and GUI. The full form is CUI, Character User Interface. GUI is Graphical User Interface. In CUI, the user has to type commands using the keyboard to interact with the computer. In GUI, the user uses a mouse instead of the keyboard to interact with the computer. Second, it is difficult to use as the user has to remember all commands. It is much easier to use and navigate. Third, there is only text in case of CUI. There are graphics or visual clues for each applications. Old computers used CUI. Now most modern computers use GUI. You can see the screen of example of CUI is DOS. So the screen left hand side is looks like of it is of DOS, and the right hand side the screen of is an example Windows is an example of GUI. So the screen looks like this of Windows. Now what is Windows? Windows, it is a user-friendly operating system which allows users to install programs and software on computer system. Windows is a type of software, acts as both system and application software. What is program? Basically, program is a set of instructions. Examples of programs like C++, HTML are certain examples of programs. Software, what is software? Software is a set of interlinked programs. Example, MS Office is an example for software. Let's understand the features of Windows operating system. The first, interface between the user and the hardware. An operating system provides an interface between user and machine. This interface can be a graphical user interface, which is GUI, in which users click on screen elements to interact with the OS, or a command line interface, which is CLI, in which users type command at the command line interface to tell the operating system to do things. Second, coordinate with hardware components. An OS enables coordination of hardware components. Each hardware devices speaks a different language, but the operating system can talk to them through the specific translational softwares called device drivers. Every hardware component has different drivers for operating systems. These drivers make the communication successful between the other software and the hardware. Third, provide environment for software to function. An OS provides an environment for software applications to function. An application software is a specific software which is used to perform specific tasks. In GUI operating systems such as Windows, Mac OS, applications run within a consistent graphical desktop environment. Provide structure for data management. An OS displays structure or directories for data management. We can view file and folder listings and manipulate on those files and folders like move, copy, rename, delete, and many others function. Next, monitor system health and functionality. OS monitors the health of a system's hardware, giving us an idea of how well or not it's performing. We can see how busy our CPU is, or how quickly our hard drives retrieve data, or how much data our network card is sending, etc. And it also monitors system activity for malware. Last, promotes multitasking. By allowing the user to do several things on the computer at once. For example, watch a video while writing a letter. In the next slide, we will recap. Operating system is a set of programs that manages the resources, processes commands, and controls the execution of programs. We've also learned CUI and GUI, the user in character user interface, typed commands to interact with the computer, where MS-DOS is an example of CUI. The user in graphical user interface clicks the icons to interact within the computer. Windows is an example of GUI. Windows, we have seen Windows, it's a user-friendly operating system which allows users to install programs and software on computer systems. We also learned today features of operating system. I hope you all have understood today's session. Thank you for watching my video.